Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PODCLASS English. Today, we've got a really practical and useful topic that you can use almost every day, introducing yourself to new people. We'll cover a bunch of different situations like meeting new friends, introducing yourself to teachers, and how to approach strangers. Plus, we'll give you tips on the best phrases and break down some important vocabulary. By the end of this episode, you'll feel more confident about how to introduce yourself in English, no matter the setting. Let's start with one of the most common scenarios, introducing yourself to new friends in a casual setting. Maybe you've just met someone at a social event, or you've been introduced through mutual friends. What should you say? Let's check it out.
Hey, I'm Mike. What's your name?
Hi Mike, I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you. How do you know Tom?
Tom and I go way back. We were in school together. How about you?
I work with Tom. He's been telling me about this group for a while, so I'm excited to finally meet everyone.
Yeah, it's a great group. So what do you do for work?
I'm in marketing. I work at a small firm downtown. What about you?
I'm in tech, software development, mostly.
Let's break down that introduction. Notice how casual it is. Mike starts by just saying, "Hey, I'm Mike." In social situations like meeting new friends, it's fine to keep things simple and informal.
Yeah, and Emma responds with, "Hi Mike, I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you." Nice to meet you is always a good phrase to use when you meet someone for the first time, even in a casual setting. It's polite but not too formal.
Exactly. And then Emma asks, "How do you know Tom?" This is a really common follow-up question in group settings where you have a mutual friend. It helps keep the conversation going and builds a connection.
Right? And the conversation naturally flows from there. They talk about their connection to Tom, and then they move on to discussing their jobs. In casual settings, once you've introduced yourself, asking about how people know each other or what they do for work is a great way to keep the conversation going.
Now let's talk about a different situation. Introducing yourself to a teacher or professor. This could be on the first day of class, or maybe during office hours when you need help with something. It's important to be polite and respectful, and the language you use might be a little more formal than when you're meeting new friends.
Right. You want to make a good impression on your teacher, and showing respect is key. Let's listen to an example.
Hello, Professor Smith. My name is Emma. I'm in your Monday afternoon English class. I just wanted to introduce myself and say that I'm looking forward to the semester.
Hello, Emma. It's great to meet you. I'm glad to hear you're excited about the class. Is there anything I can help you with?
Not right now, but I'll probably have some questions as the semester goes on. I just wanted to say hello and let you know that I'm here if you need anything from me.
That's wonderful. I look forward to seeing you in class.
In this example, Emma uses a more formal greeting, "Hello, Professor Smith." Using Professor or Mr. Miss with your teacher's last name shows respect. In some places, you might use Sir or Madam, but Professor is very common in English-speaking countries when you're talking to a teacher at a university.
Exactly. Notice how Emma says, "I just wanted to introduce myself and say that I'm looking forward to the semester." This is a polite way of showing that you're enthusiastic about the class without going over the top.
Right? You can also use this kind of language when introducing yourself to any authority figure, like a boss or manager. It's polite, professional, and respectful. Now, let's move on to something that can be a little more intimidating. Introducing yourself to strangers. This could happen when you're at a public event, or maybe you're traveling and want to make new friends. How do you start a conversation with someone you don't know?
Good question. It can feel a little awkward at first, but with the right phrases, it gets easier. The key is to keep it friendly, but not too personal at the beginning.
Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here?
Oh, not at all. Go ahead.
Thanks. I'm Emma, by the way. I'm just visiting the city, and I didn't know anyone here.
Nice to meet you, Emma. I'm Mike. Yeah, I've lived here for a few years. How do you like the city so far?
It's great. I love the energy, and there's so much to see.
Let's break down this introduction. Emma starts with, "Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here?" This is a polite way to start a conversation when you're in a public space and want to approach someone without being intrusive.
Right. And when Mike says, "Not at all," Go ahead, he's permitting in a friendly way. Then, Emma follows up with, I'm Emma, by the way. Adding by the way makes it sound more casual and natural.
Exactly. Then they quickly move on to talking about the city, which is a common topic when meeting new people, especially if you're traveling. Now let's switch gears and talk about how to introduce yourself in a more formal setting, like a work event or a networking event. The language you use in these situations will be a bit more formal, and it's important to make a good first impression.
Exactly. In formal situations, you'll usually start by saying your full name and your job title, and you might also mention the company you work for. Let's listen to an example of how this might sound.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Anderson. I'm a project manager at XYZ Corporation. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good afternoon, Sarah. My name is Jake Thompson. I'm a marketing consultant for Global Media. It's great to meet you as well.
So how long have you been with Global Media, Jake?
I've been with them for about 3 years now. And how about you? How long have you been with XYZ Corporation?
I've been here for around 5 years. We've worked on a lot of major projects, including the new product line for our client.
Let's break this conversation down. First, notice how Sarah introduces herself. She says, good afternoon, which is a more formal greeting than hi or hello. You can use good afternoon when meeting someone in the afternoon, and good morning or good evening depending on the time of day.
Sarah also gives her full name and her job title. I'm a project manager at XYZ Corporation. In formal introductions, it's a good idea to give your full name and say where you work, especially in professional settings. This helps the other person understand your role and gives context for the conversation.
Right? And when Jake responds, he uses the same formal structure. My name is Jake Thompson. I'm a marketing consultant for Global Media. This mirrors Sarah's introduction and keeps the tone professional.
Exactly. And then they move on to talking about how long they've been with their respective companies. This is a common topic in professional conversations. People often ask how long you've been in your role or with your company.
Next, let's talk about group introductions. If you're in a group setting, like a meeting or a class, you'll need to introduce yourself to multiple people at once. Group introductions are usually a little shorter than one-on-one introductions, but you still want to make a good impression.
Right? In a group setting, it's important to give just enough information to introduce yourself without overwhelming people with too many details. Let's listen to an example.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Anderson. I work in marketing at XYZ Corporation, and I'm excited to be here today. I've been working in the industry for 5 years, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you.
Hello, I'm Jake Thompson. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and I specialize in digital media. It's great to meet you all, and I'm looking forward to collaborating on this project.
In this example, both Sarah and Jake give short, clear introductions. They include their names, their job titles, and a little bit about what they do. In group settings, it's important to keep things brief but informative.
Exactly. You want to give people a sense of who you are without taking up too much time. Notice how both Sarah and Jake mention what they're looking forward to. Sarah says, I'm looking forward to meeting all of you, and Jake says, I'm looking forward to collaborating on this project. This is a great way to show that you're engaged and excited to be part of the group.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've covered so many different ways to introduce yourself, whether you're meeting new friends, introducing yourself to a teacher, or approaching strangers. Hopefully, you now feel more confident about how to handle introductions in all sorts of situations.
Absolutely. Remember, practice is key. The more you practice introducing yourself, the easier and more natural it will feel.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you have any questions or want more tips, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Until next time, keep practicing your English, and we'll see you in the next episode of PODCLASS English.